What is wild EM and how is it being used today to reverse hormonal imbalance? One of the potential medical applications of wild EM is the treatment of symptoms associated with menopause, as well as rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, and cramping in the muscles. Wild EM has a long history of clinical application for the treatment of spastic and dyspeptic discomfort of the belly, uterus, and gallbladder, and it continues to be widely used for this purpose among herbalists. As an antispasmodic treatment for dysmenorrhea with spasmodic colicky pains, it was administered every few hours, and it enjoyed a great deal of popularity among eclectic physicians. Wild EM is still considered by modern herbalists to be one of the most effective uterine antispasmodics for the treatment of dysmenorrhea that they prescribe $150 on the subject of its effects on the uterine muscle. No research has been conducted recently. The results of an in vitro study conducted in 1916 did not demonstrate any effects on the uterine muscle. No. 186, a study that was conducted in 1997, indicated that the anti-inflammatory properties of dioscinin, which is a component of wild EM, are exhibited by the digestive tract when it is ingested as a dietary supplement. In the treatment of uterine cramping, dysmenorrhea, chronic pelvic pain CPP, urinary tract infection UTI, and interstitial cystitis, herbal practitioners have observed that wild EM is a reliable spasmolytic herb. This is especially true when used as an adjuvant in combination with other herbs that are specific to the aforementioned symptoms. It is also frequently used by midwives as an antiemetic in the treatment of bothersome nausea and vomiting of pregnancy NVP and hyperemesis gravidarum. Additionally, it is sometimes used as an antispasmodic for irritable uterus or threatening miscarriage with uterine contractions. Additionally, it is sometimes used as an auxiliary antispasmodic herb for the treatment of painful labor associated with dysfunctional uterine contractions, as well as for the treatment of afterbirth pains in the postpartum period. This plant, known as wild EM, has been utilized by people for millennia in the field of alternative medicine. Other names for wild EM include colic root, devil's bones, rheumatism root, and China root. A number of these names are often used interchangeably. There are about 600 different varieties of wild EMs, but only 12 of them are known to be edible. The purpose of this article is to study the possible medical applications of wild EM, as well as the evidence that supports these applications. Also, we discuss how to take it, as well as its safety and any potential adverse effects. Advantages and applications. The bulb and roots of wild EMs contain a substance known as dioscinin, which has the potential to impact the production of several beneficial hormones in humans. These hormones include estrogen and dihydroepiandrosterone DHEA. There is a possibility that consuming wild EM is a natural means of increasing these hormones in the body, which may have specific advantages for medical purposes. On the other hand, there is just a small amount of evidence to support any potential medical applications of wild EM at the moment. As of yet, the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) of the United States of America has not conducted any tests to determine whether wild EM is safe or effective. Possible applications of wild EM in the medical field include the following: the symptoms of menopause. Certain practitioners of traditional medicine advocate for the utilization of wild EM as an alternative to estrogen replacement therapy to alleviate the symptoms associated with menopause. Wild EM is thought to have the potential to either raise or maintain estrogen levels in the body, which could potentially alleviate symptoms experienced by individuals. On the other hand, there is a very limited amount of evidence to back up these assertions. The 23 women who used a wild EM cream for 3 months did not experience any improvements in their menopausal symptoms, according to the findings of one of the few studies that are currently available on the subject. Arthritis rheumatoid can be. Wild EM is administered to patients suffering from rheumatoid arthritis by practitioners of traditional medicine who think that it possesses anti-inflammatory effects. There is still a need for additional research that is explicitly focused on rheumatoid arthritis and wild yam. Nonetheless, the activity of wild yam as an anti-inflammatory could potentially lessen pain by interfering with the body's propensity to produce inflammation. Chronic rheumatoid arthritis is a disorder that causes inflammation of the joints and is characterized by its presence. Individuals who have the illness may experience discomfort and stiffness as a result of this, which can limit their movement. There is a possibility that wild yam could lessen this inflammation and have a beneficial effect on symptoms. However, there is not much evidence to support this hypothesis. Regulation of blood sugar. Additionally, wild yam is known to have a molecule known as discretase, which has been demonstrated to control the levels of sugar in the blood. Those who suffer from diabetes may find that wild yam is beneficial in terms of controlling their blood sugar levels. The effect of discretase on blood sugar, on the other hand, has only been investigated in animal models up until this point. The question of whether or not it would have the same effect on humans is not clear. Aching and cramping in the muscles. Those who advocate for wild yam also claim that it possesses antispasmodic characteristics, which are compounds that lower the frequency and severity of muscular spasms. Because wild yam possesses antispasmodic properties, it has the potential to be beneficial in alleviating cramps and muscular pain that are associated with premenstrual syndrome (PS), for instance. Nevertheless, additional research is required to back up this claim. The preparation of wild yam. The bitter flavor of wild yam makes its consumption extremely uncommon. Nevertheless, it is offered in several different formulations, including the following: tablet capsule tincture cream powdered tea powder, and powdered tea. A good number of these wild yam formulations might be purchased via the utilization of the internet. The amount of wild yam that one should consume is contingent upon several factors, including the following: the individual's current state of health, the individual's age, according to the composition of the wild yam. On the other hand, current scientific research has not yet established a dosage range that is both safe and effective for wild yams. Before consuming wild yam, it is therefore very necessary to get the advice of a qualified medical practitioner. Before beginning use, you should always thoroughly read the box. Perilousness and adverse impacts. Wild yam has not yet been examined by the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) for its potential use in medicine. Hence, there is a lack of specific information regarding its safety or adverse effects. Even though wild yam is a natural drug, this does not indicate that it does not have any adverse effects. The majority of people are believed to be safe when consuming wild yam in low dosages. However, consuming significant quantities of wild yam can result in several adverse effects, including the following: nausea, vomiting, and intense headaches, problems with digestion. Wild yams have the potential to cause allergic reactions in certain individuals. If wild yam is applied to the skin in the form of a cream, for instance, it may irritate. When making a purchase, it is important to look for manufacturers who have a track record of providing accurate labeling and whose products are known for their high level of purity and quality. Certain businesses have been penalized for their use of the term trusted source because their products either did not contain the substances that were listed or had harmful pollutants. It is not recommended that individuals who suffer from hormone-sensitive illnesses, such as breast cancer or uterine fibroids, should consume wild yam. Wild yam can affect the production of estrogen, which would make the issue much worse. In addition, there is a lack of information about whether or not wild yam is safe for consumption by pregnant women, nursing mothers, or extremely small children. Because of this, medical professionals advise their patients to refrain from consuming wild yams during certain time. Wild yam may interact with other drugs. However, additional research is required to determine whether or not this correlation exists. To determine whether or not wild yam is safe to consume, it is necessary to meet with a medical professional first. The outlook. Even though practitioners of traditional medicine utilize wild yam to treat a wide range of health concerns, additional research is required to discover whether or not it is safe and whether or not it is effective. Consuming high quantities of wild yam might result in adverse consequences, and wild yam can interact with other drugs. Consequently, before consuming wild yam, it is essential to consult with a medical professional. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. See you in the next video.